Yeah, I'm just looking at some of your old videos just because they're
Oh,
funny.
my old videos were awful. They were so
So,
bad.
like
Oh,
the ones where you do it on the carpet.
oh no! Don't even look.
We have a guest here with us today. Who is this guest? I wonder. Would he like to introduce himself?
Oh, he would actually. So
So we
I'm.
have the cubologist on today.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, guys? The cubologist here, and I don't know. Yeah. So I'm Daniel Goodman, DGCubes on YouTube. If you haven't heard of me, then now you have.
What type of videos do you make on YouTube?
Okay, so I do reviews, unboxings, challenges, Q&As, pretty much anything. If you have suggestions, let me know. I do pretty much whatever I feel like, so all sorts of cubing related videos.
Yeah, you have one of the most popular review, that sort of channel where you go through and review cubes and record solves and all that.
Yeah.
Confirmed better channel than us. I just upload random souls. Brad uploads rant videos, and Bryce doesn't upload at all anymore.
Oh no, Brad, your why your cubing intro sucks video. That was so good. I love that.
I just got a comment on that video today from Oscar Puzzle, who asked if his intro was okay. Just like,
Wait, really?
the stupidest question ever. Of course it's okay.
That's funny.
Will I end up killing 2 billion people?
Oh, oh, that's actually hilarious. Okay.
Even though we have a guest, we will not devoid ourselves of the normal structure of our podcast, which is to start with frivolous corrections.
Oh, okay.
In episode 5, we said that YJ was a sub-brand of Moyu. It is not like that. Moyu is a sub-brand of YJ. This is news to me.
Wait, really?
Who said that? Did you say that?
I was under the impression this whole time that
Oh,
YJ came after Moyu.
YJ's been around for years.
That's what I thought.
Moyu's only been around for like two years, and YJ's been around since like forever.
Yeah, YJ made cubes for a long time.
How long have I been cubing? Like 2 years?
Yeah, same.
I've been cubing like 4, but that was around when I started cubing. Very soon after the Fangshi came out, and that was like the first cube that competed with the Zanshi. So I was around before Moyu was cool.
Yeah, I remember the good old days where I thought V cubes were the best puzzles. Even I think that was like Moyu just started to come out, and I remember I got a Huanying for free at my first competition. I was like, oh, this is alright.
What was your first speed cube?
My first speed cube was the stickerless Guhong version 1. Yeah, it wasn't comp legal.
Wow, that goes way back.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. So I asked my parents for, quote, a speed cube. So they actually chose a pretty good one, because like the Guhong was really good at the time. But it wasn't comp legal, so I got a black Zanshi later on, and that was pretty good.
So I'm just gonna like type in SpeedCube into Google right now and see what the first thing is comes up.
Interesting.
And it's a cube for you. So if any of your parents are like, you're like, oh, can I have a speed cube for Christmas? You're gonna get a cube for you, which good for you, I guess.
What was your first speed cube, Bryce?
My first speed cube was actually a white Zanchi. When I started cubing, I think Moyu was around. They had the way long out. All I saw on YouTube was Zanchi, so I got one. It's pretty good.
I've actually felt Felix's original cube for you, like the one he used 6 years ago. I actually felt that one, and to be honest, it's actually not that bad, only it explodes. I remember just like turning it, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good, and then it's just, like, it just exploded completely.
Oh wow, you would feel so bad.
Yeah. That's like my Guhong V1. For a while, I had it super loose, like really, really loose, where it would fall apart if you tried to do a T-perm. So that was pretty bad. Because like that was before torpedoes. There was no anti-popping mechanism there.
Yeah, my friend owned a Guhong, and my favorite thing to do was just like do that thing where you turn it 45 degrees, just lift a piece out with your finger. There's like no effort involved at all.
So easy to do that, yeah.
Now that we're done with follow-up, we're going to move on to news. First item of news here is that Tony Fisher, renowned puzzle manufacturer, maker person, made what is the world's largest Rubik's Cube. Not in terms of n by n by n, like the 22 by 22, but largest as in its physical size, which is a 1.56 meter by 1.56 meter 3 by 3, which, because Daniel's here and he uses the imperial system like an animal, we need to find out what that is in feet.
Okay, no. It's 5 foot 1 inches. He said it in his video. But
Okay.
no, but seriously, metric is so much better. It's so much better.
Thank you, Daniel.
There is no reason we should be using imperial. Apparently, my dad was saying a while ago, like when he was a kid, the U.S. was gonna switch to metric, and then they just never followed up with that. So just never happened.
What about Celsius and Fahrenheit? Do you have an opinion on that?
Celsius is so much better. Like, okay, it's 0 and 100 for freezing and boiling in Celsius. In Fahrenheit, it's 32 and 212. Like, what? I don't
Yeah.
even know what people were thinking when they came up with that.
At least we have -40, so we can all rejoice together.
Yeah, like that temperature ever happens anyway.
There are a lot of people who, and I'm actually starting to get kind of convinced by this argument, which is the Fahrenheit system is better for humans in that 0 degrees is like pretty cold and 100 degrees is pretty hot. Where in Celsius, 0 degrees is pretty cold and 100 degrees is dead. Like,
That's true.
it's kind of easier to judge how hot it is outside by how higher above 50 it is with Fahrenheit.
Yeah,
Yep.
but like in Fahrenheit, 100 isn't even like significant. Like it doesn't mean anything. It's really hot. Like if it's 100 degrees outside, you're really, really, really hot. But I don't know. It's not significant like it is in Celsius.
How did we get here from the world's largest Rubik's Cube? Like,
Oh yeah,
what?
oh
Okay.
no, because it's 1.51 or what is it? 1 point, I don't know, something meters.
Alright.
You and your metric.
The cube weighs 100 kilos, which is how many pounds? Let's do the conversion
I don't
here.
even know. Just stick with kilos.
220 pounds.
Yeah, something. Like
And the
that.
stickers themselves weigh 12 kilograms, which is a lot of kilograms for stickers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Try re-stickering that one, Tony.
Yeah, it's like, oh, no, imagine you buy one, or you buy it off him, and you're like, I don't really like the shades.
I just peel the stickers off.
He repeats in the video very often that it's real.
Can we trust him?
Tony Fisher has been known to create fake puzzles before. Like in the title, 100% genuine.
Yeah, including his 100% genuine pseudo 15 by 15, which nobody knew what pseudo meant, so everybody just disliked. So
Yeah. I'm having some trouble believing that this is real. Like, I don't have any reason not to, though, because it's very possible. But, like, just with all the hoaxes he's done.
Yeah.
just seems kind of odd. Like,
Yeah.
how difficult would it be to make a Rubik's Cube that big from scratch? Like, really?
Well, I mean, I don't know much about making cubes. I'm really bad mechanically, but, like, I've taken, like, some engineering classes in school and stuff. But, I don't know, it doesn't seem, if you're 3D printing, it would cost a ton, but, like, it doesn't seem like it would be that hard to just scale up a normal piece, but, you know,
Yeah.
it would be hard to assemble, and it would take forever to 3D print if that's what you're doing, so...
If you're just scaling it up, though, then you've got screws that are like a foot wide.
Oh, that's true. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that
Yeah.
part. Okay.
He says in the description of his video that he is not revealing how he made it, which I guess adds to the suspicion, like, he's not showing us the mechanism.
Yeah.
So we don't know if it's real, but you would also understand why he's not showing it. Like, he doesn't want other people to find the mechanism and then make a 2 meter by 2 meter cube.
Yeah, and then suddenly it's just like in China the next day, being
Yeah.
sold at all the markets.
No, he said it broke, though, and he's, like, reassembling it or something. Did you see that?
Yep.
The puzzle broke shortly after the video was made. I am currently fixing it, then I hope to make more videos including comparisons and eventually show the construction. That would suck to have this thing break.
Watch the construction of it just be, like, a video of him, like, sitting in his room editing for, like, hours trying to get that to look real.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it is fake, this is some pretty impressive editing.
Yeah, he did a good job either way.
What I love is that he said, like, the width of the cubies is partly defined by how wide his door is, so he can fit them in and out his door.
Oh my goodness.
It is huge, though. It's like, it's almost as big as him.
Yeah. Do you guys remember that, like, I don't know if you have them, but the old stickless biggest cube that's mass produced?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
I don't have one, but I've tried them before.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was like last year or the year before that. My friend was trying to do a blind solve on it and it popped, like, mid-solve.
Oh, that's so funny that you say that, because that was, like, that cube came out very soon, or immediately before Nationals 2014, US Nationals.
Yep.
So I was there, and we were doing a team blind solve on it, actually. Not actually blind, but team blind. And in the middle of it, an entire layer came off, including a centerpiece. So, yeah.
Oh,
That
wow.
cube is dodgy ass.
What about that nano cube that's like 3...
Oh, I have one of those. 15 millimeters.
It's pretty tiny.
That you see like assembly videos. I think JR uploaded an assembly video.
People don't make that much of a fuss on the assembly of that cube, but I just wonder how. Like, it just got so tedious. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It didn't take me too long. It took me like, I think it was under an hour actually. I don't know if that includes stickering though.
I have a really small 3x3 that I got for Christmas. I don't think it's the Nano Cube because it was made by Rubik's. I'll turn on my webcam, I'll show you.
Oh yeah.
See, here's the thing, right? I'm scared of that cube, and that's coming from somebody who has reassembled a Shengshao 6x6 from scratch.
Aw. I don't think I've even assembled a Shengshao 4x4 from scratch. Yeah, I've done an Aosu from scratch though, but that's about as high as it's gone.
Yeah, fair enough.
I remember when I first got my Aosu and I took it apart to lube it, and I was like, how the hell do I put this back together? What are these internal pieces?
It's like, oh, this is a 3x3, right? It is just like a core. Wait, no.
Yeah, the biggest cube I've ever disassembled and reassembled from scratch was my Alsup when I screwed it up.
Then you broke it? Is that the story?
No, when I put the sewing machine oil in it, I actually didn't even take it apart. I took a couple pieces out and then just dropped it in there. And then I took it completely apart.
I still can't believe you actually did that.
I know, it was probably the worst decision I've ever made towards my cubes.
Where do you even get sewing machine oil? Like,
Yeah, what happens in your life that leads you to have sewing machine oil in your possession?
Yeah, when I was listening to that episode of the podcast, I think I was doing 7x7 solves because like, you know, it takes a long time and stuff. I just lost it when I heard that. That was very good.
That was like my favorite line from the last episode. Sewing machine oil. What even is that? It's oil for your sewing machine. What were we even talking about? Big cubes. That's it.
Wait,
moving
how
right
did
along.
we get here from that?
I don't even know.
Next item here on news, a new very fast average. It was the Asian record, and also placed, who did this average? Let me find out. It placed them second in the world behind Felix.
His name is Sung Hook Nyam. Please don't kill me.
Thank you for doing that so I didn't have to.
Yeah, I've heard of him before.
Yeah.
Apparently he's very, very good. So, congrats.
7.06 average. What was his fastest solve? 6.32. Not even sub 6. Come on. The hell, man.
Sub 6s are becoming really common now, but like, they're still insane. Like, if you're at a competition and you see a sub 6, you're still gonna get really excited. You guys have, like, Felix at all of your comps, so...
You should come to Australia. People don't even clap for 5s anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like,
It
oh,
doesn't
5.
even mean anything for you guys.
Yeah, that Sydney competition, Faz got like a 5.4 something and no one clapped.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember, I think I was there when he got like the 7x7 world record average. Like 5 people in the room actually knew that. Nobody actually realized he actually got a world record. It was just stupid. It was just stupid.
The best one is when he gets like a 6.3 second solve and everyone's like, oh, you tried your best. Maybe next time.
Yeah, no, it's like Felix gets a 5.9. It's okay, you get one bad solve.
Yeah.
I mean, I met Felix once at Nats 2014. That was a really good comp. I mean, like, he came all the way from Australia, and I just, like, drive there and back every day because it was close to where I live, so...
Who are the fast people that go to your comps?
Fast people? Well, let's see, who are the fast people? We have Patrick Ponce. He's at, like, all the comps around here. Keaton, Pavon, me. Who else do we... Colin. How did I forget Colin? Dang. Yeah, Colin's at all the comps around here. Right around, like, northeast US, where I am, there are a lot of people who are good at Pura, which is frustrating for me, because that's my main event, so it's really hard to podium, but, yeah.
Yeah.
How many comps do you reckon you go to in a year?
It's been a lot more lately. The last month without a comp for me was October, which is very rare that I'll have that many comps, but, let's see, last year was probably maybe 5 or 6, but this year, I've had one in January, one in February, I'm gonna have another one this month, and then, like, 1 or 2 in April, so, and that's only half of the year, and I might be going to Nats, so, I mean, it's just getting more and more, I would say over 5.
In Australia, we don't really have that many fast people. I mean, we have Felix, Jay...
You know, I feel bad for Jay, though. I always feel bad for him, because, like, if he was anywhere but Australia, he would be, like, so revered as being such a crazy fast cuber. But since Felix is there, like, I don't know, it's kind of like he's second, but, I mean, not in every event.
If you guys kind of, like, follow sub of ranks on the WCA, you'll know that Jay actually has a better sum of ranks than Felix does.
Oh, does he actually?
Yeah, in both World and Australia, so that's interesting.
I'm trying to get a good sum of ranks. I need to do more events, though.
What's my sum of ranks? I don't know. It's the only thing I really care about these days. In
Same.
Oceania, I am 8th.
Nice.
Which is...
What am I, Reese? What am I?
You are 21st.
Oh, terrible.
Alright, let's check Bryce Hayes.
It's probably not going to be much better.
91st.
Oh, yes.
I think I'm like 160 or 140 something in North America.
You are 147th, which, to be fair, in US is actually not that bad of a job. In fact, you're right in front of Cal Schoen, which is pretty darn good.
Oh, yeah. I knew I was around him, but I wasn't sure exactly where.
I think that was the biggest ramble that we've gone on in the cubing show history.
Yeah, wait. How did that even start?
That started with the 7.06.
So we're talking about the 7.06 Asian...
Wait. I'm totally lost on how that started.
Okay. Okay, that was weird.
Wow.
So, Daniel runs,
Yes.
as we've just said, a channel called DGCubes, and that's kind of where people know him from. I wanted to kind of have a discussion about cubing YouTube in general.
Okay.
And I guess we'll start with how did you start on YouTube?
So I started on YouTube because I wanted to make cubing videos for a while, and I enjoyed entertainment sort of stuff. So like ever since I was little, I always liked to just record have my dad record me on like a really old video camera, just doing random stuff. So I always liked that sort of thing. And then I got into cubing, and I saw a lot of people on YouTube with it, so it seemed kind of natural. The sad part was I didn't have any good cameras at all, so I used my Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah.
Which went downhill really fast. But, you know, I enjoyed making videos, and it didn't discourage me that I wasn't really getting subscribers for a while, because I still enjoyed just making the videos anyway. And then, eventually, like, practice makes decent, so eventually I got kind of decent, and a lot of making videos and enjoying it and stuff.
Do you have a specific video where you like went from making it for fun to like getting a lot of subscribers? Right now you have nearly 13,000 subscribers, which is a lot of subscribers.
5.25.
At what point did it start to take off?
Okay, well, there was one video I uploaded in September of 2014 called HD Camera Test. That helped me out quite a bit. And then, because, you know, by the time I had an HD camera, that really helped me out, because I was stuck around like 200 subscribers or something without HD. I wasn't using my 3DS, I was using like a camcorder, but it was still really bad. Once I had my HD camera, that helped me out. Of course, like the world record, Colin Burns' world record video, that got me a ton of subscribers, so that was really big too. Wait, before we continue, I'm just gonna turn my light on, because it's starting to get dark, so wait, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. I just don't like sitting in dark rooms.
It's just starting to get light here.
Yeah, the sun's just starting to come out here, so...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about time zones. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's like 4:41 here. That's a significant time in cubing.
Yep. Hashtag tell us for part of the evening.
Yep, and he can compete again, so...
Oh, yeah. I remember...
Tell us 4-0 for WR.
So with Felix, he's been writing on his, like, blog. He just released a new one of him going to Mexico, and he ended it with, unfortunately, I could not meet Martin Telesforo, hashtag 4.41 forever.
Aw, why isn't he... I wonder if he's still cubing at all.
I wonder.
Yeah. If he's allowed to come back, he should totally like get a 2-second solve just to troll everyone.
Well, he is allowed to come back now. The ban's lifted, so it ended at on December 31st, 2015. So
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, that kind of story, because I came in to cubing after that happened, and it was really hard to get caught up on that story because all the original videos were deleted and
Yeah.
like you were browsing old speed solving posts.
Oh, I love doing that.
Yeah.
I kind of consider myself a bit of a cubing historian, because like I wasn't around for like a long time ago, but I like to learn about what cubing used to be like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I was around. I was cubing when the Telesforo thing happened. I remember it from like around when it happened.
I'm usually on the FMC thread a lot on speed solving, which is obviously like one of the most posted threads. I don't know how many posts I've got on there now, but like they've got tons. And you can like go back way back and see like when NIS started and stuff like that. Like when these
Yeah,
actual
that's so
methods
cool.
started to evolve, and that was so cool because like people use them and take them for granted now. When
Yeah.
back then, they were only just creating them, so it's kind of cool.
Oh, that's so cool. I saw this one thing on the WCA forum, where Stefan Pachman proposed the Megaminx scrambling method that we use now. He actually proposed it with just, like, R pluses and D pluses, like, not R++, like, it was just sort of one at a time, but it was, like, maybe even a decade ago, I don't know, it was a while ago, but it was really cool to read that and see people sort of, like, accepting it and stuff.
Dang, yeah.
So going back to your YouTube thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that.
Your channel's always been DGCubes, right?
Yes, it has. Although, well, it's always been DGCubes when it was on YouTube, but I was originally gonna be DGCubed. I've said this on my channel before, actually. I've said the story about it. Yeah, I was making... I made an email account for it first, and that's dgcubed@gmail.com, so that's why, like, when you email me, that's what it is. It's DGCubed. And that was gonna be my channel name. And then, for some reason, I put it in, and it was taken, although I think it might have been taken by me. I'm not quite sure, but somehow I couldn't access that other one, so I didn't really know what to do. So I just made another one with my backup name, which is DGCubes, so that's why. Although I've grown to prefer it to DGCubed, but, it wasn't my first choice.
It's kind of become a thing on YouTube, sort of pointed out by Chris Olsen in his YouTube seminar. XYCuber names. You have one of these names, although you had it before.
Yes.
The majority of people had it before it kind of took off.
Yeah.
You must have thoughts on this, considering you are
Yes.
deeply involved in the cubing YouTube community, and you also have one of these
Yeah.
names.
Yeah, I absolutely do have thoughts on this. So if you're making a new cubing YouTube channel, please do not make it an XYCuber. I mean, when I started, it really wasn't as common. There was JRCuber. That's probably where I got the inspiration to do that, and that's probably where most people get the inspiration to do it, because, like, JRCuber is a much bigger influence than I am, and other people with, like, XYCuber names.
Yeah.
But, like, and that's why it's mostly XYCuber and not, like, XYCubes or Cubed and things like that. I'm not going to change my name because I'm already somewhat established on YouTube, so if I changed my name to, like, Daniel the Cuber, I don't know, people aren't going to know who I am. They'll be confused. They'll be like, wait, who's this guy I'm subscribed to? And then they'll maybe unsubscribe, I don't know. So, since I'm established somewhat, I'm not going to change my name. But if you're not an established YouTuber, and you have a name like that, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't change it, because, like, there are, you have some subscribers and stuff, but it's not like people, there's still a lot of people who don't know and are gonna find out about you. So, I don't know. And it's hard to remember initials, too. That's another problem I have with it. Like, when I tell people my YouTube channel, I say DGCubes, and then they go home and they search DJCubes, and they're like, why isn't it there? But, most of the time, like, I guess people can if they know you, actually, if they personally know you, then they know your initials, so you can just say, it's my initials, and then cubes. But if they don't know you, it's really hard to remember those two letters, and then, search that when you get home.
Have you guys played the XYCuber YouTuber game?
Oh, yes.
So what you do is you go into the YouTube search bar, you type in 2 random letters, and then you just put Cuba on the end of it, and you see if it comes up. And pretty much half of the time it will come up.
I am doing that right now.
I just put in DI Cuba, came up with DI Cuba.
No, there are like 10 JS Cubers, not even kidding.
PD Cuba. No, there isn't a
PJ Cuba, or let's see. Yep.
GJ Cuber, that should be a thing, right?
Yep.
Yep, there's a GJ Cuber on YouTube. No
So-
content, but, still.
No, he's got
One
content.
subscriber.
He's got content. It's called Solving a Rubik's Cube in 43.16
Oh, wait, yeah, he does. Never
seconds.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
So there is a GJ Cuber. Hello, GJ Cuber, if you're listening.
LM Cuba.
Yeah. And to people like GJ Cuber and, YL Cuber and,
XF Cuber.
MC Cuber and, like, I don't know, ZZ Cuber. You're all out there. I mean, I haven't heard of any of those people, like, in actuality, I don't know who they are. So, there's not really that much of a problem with changing your name, because, like, you're not that well recognized yet, so you can save yourself. but
Yeah.
yeah.
We had a friend who did that. Lockie Green, a friend of ours who goes to all the Australian competitions, had a channel called LGCuber, which after Chris's seminar came out, LGCuber's name was listed on that wall of names, that hall of shame.
Oh, I was on it.
Yeah. And then, like, Chris actually singled him out and said, like, I cannot tell the difference between LA-Cuber and LG-Cuber. Which I thought was kind of weird, because everyone knows LA-Cuber.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But then Lockie changed his channel name to AussieCuber01. I'm not sure if that's much of an improvement.
I might have heard of that name before. It's kind of familiar.
AussieCuber01 sounds like a PlayStation game or something. Not a YouTube channel name.
XX AussieCuber01XX.
Yes. I'm trying to picture, like, just going to GameStop and, like, buying AussieCuber01.
Anyway.
So hyped to play this when I get home.
Anyway, what even happened to LA Cuba? Like, he started really strong, and he hasn't made a video in like 2 years.
Oh, his videos were excellent. They were excellent.
And he got the crazy bad Cuba shout out.
Oh, he said he spent like 36 hours editing one of his videos, which was crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, like, there are a lot of channels I see. They don't have as many subscribers as they should have. Like, you know, if LA Cuber kept uploading, I think he should have been one of the really, like, huge YouTube cubers, because his videos were excellent. And, you know, people like Chris and Cubologists, they make really good videos. They're not growing as quickly as they should be, I don't think.
How many subs does Chris have?
I think he's like almost 20,000.
19,961. Getting there.
Yeah.
Chris's videos, though.
They're so good. They're so good.
Yeah.
They kind of took, like, a year ago, they took a spike in quality.
Yeah, it's like he decided he wanted to be a videographer, and then he just went with that.
Yeah. Chris used to be known for sort of being a very fast 2x2 solver, but now he's known for his amazing videos.
Yeah. He's still fast, but, like, I feel like he's getting more into 3x3 than 2x2. I think he gave up 2x2 pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he said that, like, he's still pretty fast at home. Like, he still gets, you know, world record type averages at home. He just gets so angry with the event these days because he does so badly in competitions. If you've seen any of Chris Olsen's 2x2 solves in competition, you'll know what he's talking about.
But, like, that's the exact opposite of me in comp. For some reason, I'm so lucky, and I don't know why, but for some reason, I do much better in comp than I do at home. And, like, everybody wants to have that sort of characteristic, I think, that I talk to about it. And a lot of times, especially in 3x3, other events not as much. 3x3, it's not my main event, so I don't care all that much about it like other people do. So it doesn't really matter to me if I get, like, what times I get in it. So
I'm gonna ask you a question, Daniel.
Yeah.
Do you do public speaking at school?
I do not do public speaking at school.
Have you done on any other occasion? Have you done speeches at school?
Oh, well, speeches, yeah. I guess sometimes, but, like, not that often. Sometimes we present projects and things like that, but not, like, huge, long speeches on my own or whatever. But, yeah, not really. The
reason I asked that is because, I think there's a similar characteristic in doing well at speeches at school, like, presenting well and not being too nervous. I think that same characteristic follows over into being good at competition solves, because it's the same sort of thing. You're doing something that you normally do, but there's a lot more nerves, and there's a lot more build-up, and there's a lot more preparation.
That's actually a really, really good analogy, because I feel, now that I think about it, I feel the same way when I'm presenting something at school as when I do when I'm doing a solve in a competition. Because at school, if I'm doing a presentation, I do get nervous, but the nerves don't affect how I do. And sometimes I feel like the nerves even make me do better. And it's the same at competitions. Like, a lot of times when I compete, I'm nervous. Like, I am nervous when I'm doing solves, but sometimes I feel like the nerves sort of slow down time for me a little bit, which sounds weird, but, like, sometimes, like, you sort of get in the zone, and then your times just sort of improve.
Yeah.
That's weird, because I've found that sort of thing always happens to me when I'm solving in comp. On 3x3, I usually average, like, 19 or 18 seconds. I'm not that good. I got a low 17 average in my last competition, including a 14 single. And I would never get that at home. So, yeah.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, this is really weird. So, two things. First thing is my system of how to, like, not get nervous in competitions. I might have said this before. Essentially, what you have to do is not spend any time waiting between sitting down at the station and saying I'm ready. Because usually what I do is I just like talk to my friends or whatever in the waiting area, and then I just like head down onto the station and just say I'm ready, even before I'm like even sitting down. And for some reason that just gets rid of all of my nerves. Because like what I used to do is I used to spend like, 30 seconds just like breathing and stuff before the solve. That just like kind of hypes me up even more. Like I was just got really, really nervous. Now I don't anymore because I do that, which is really weird.
I guess it will reduce your time thinking about how you would screw it up or whatever.
Yeah, my method for calming down in competitions, I have 2 different methods depending what event it is. If it's not Pyraminx, I just sit down and like maybe take like a short breath, like a short deep breath, I guess, and then say I'm ready.
Yep.
And then just solve. But if it's Pyraminx, I do this thing that I heard about online. I saw some sort of video on like how to calm your nerves or something. I was just like browsing YouTube and stuff. And I kind of forget what it is now. The point is like the specific numbers don't matter. It's something like 4-7-8 breathing or something like that. Maybe it's 4-8-7, I don't remember. But like the point is you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it in for 7, and then breathe out for 8. And the point isn't really the exact numbers. It's more that you're counting to yourself while you're doing this deep breathing. So like the counting distracts you from whatever you're nervous about. Plus you're taking deep breaths, which always helps too. So I do that for Pyraminx because that's when I'm like legitimately freaking out on the inside. But
That's kind of weird.
yeah, it's kind of a cool thing though. It helps me out in Pyraminx at least.
Have you guys heard of mindfulness?
I haven't.
It's a type of, I think it derives from a Buddhist meditation. The basic idea of mindfulness is to be aware of what you are feeling and to disconnect yourself from that and to understand what you're going through. And the kind of meditation practices is generally to sit in a quiet room and think about nothing, which is a hard thing to do. Like, if you try, just don't think about anything. And the general strategy is to focus on your breathing. I say that because it sounds like it kind of relates to what you're saying here. You're focusing on your breathing and you're counting, and you're trying not to think about the nervous feelings, and it calms you down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Although at competitions you can't usually sit in an empty room to calm yourself down, but
Yeah.
that idea, that's pretty cool.
The other thing I was gonna say is like that you doing 3x3 is like me doing 5x5. I have always gotten an overall PB every time I've competed in 5x5 at competition. I don't know why. It's always like, I just don't know. Last time I got a single of like 124, and that was overall PB. So
DJ. That's funny that you say that because for me at my last competition, which was a week ago exactly, I was doing 5x5 there, and I hadn't broken my PB in like maybe half a year. So I don't know, my first solve I got a 131, which was PB because my old PB was 133, and then 2 solves later I got a 129. So
oh dang, okay.
That's yeah. So I have an overall 5x5 PB in comp too.
What was the average?
It was a 143, which is like insanely good for me because I'm usually like maybe 150s.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I had a counting 151 in there, which kind of ruined the average a bit. It was still really good for me.
If I had a counting 131,
yeah,
dang.
Yeah, I had a counting 131, 151, and then something in the 140s, so it ended up being a 143.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about XYCuber names.
Oh.
Of course.
What?
They're directly correlated.
Of course we were.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think I said all I have about that. I don't know if you guys want to add anything about those names.
I think it's just like, it's become such a stereotypical thing for like cubing YouTube channels. I don't know about you guys, but when I see another XYCuber name, I just sort of think, oh, I don't want to see another one of these. And I just sort of don't look at it and sort of dissed.
There's a certain argument to be made in content creation, whether it be YouTube videos or podcasts, that you shouldn't do something, not because the thing itself is bad or detracts from your thing, but that everyone else does it. I sort of complained about this in my Why Your Intro Sucks video. The reason those intro sucks is not because the format in and of itself is inherently bad. It's because everybody uses that format. Yeah. Similarly with the names of these channels. Like, if JRCuber was the only XYCuber ever to have been planted upon the face of the earth, then it wouldn't be a problem. Like, nobody would be complaining about JRCuber's name if he was the only person with that style of name. But he's not, and like hundreds, probably not hundreds, I don't know,
Yeah.
dozens of other cubers have that style of intro, and that's what makes it bad.
You know what just came to me actually? So like you were saying, like, Red KB, his username is his favorite color and then his initials. What if everybody did that? So it's like green CY and like everybody's doing that. Like then it would be awful, but like we look at Red KB and it's like, oh, that's kind of a cool name. But if everybody was doing that, it would just be really bad. So I agree with that completely.
It's kind of a running theme on our show that we talk about timers a lot. I would
Yeah.
like to know, what is your main timer, Daniel?
Oh, okay. Well, like phone or computer or what?
Both.
CS timer I recently switched to. I used QQ timer for the longest time. Yeah, I actually have a long history with timers. I started with cube timer, which like, ew. And then I moved on to ctimer.co.uk, which like nobody's heard of, but it's actually kind of a nice timer. It has like scramble drawings and stuff like that. Then I switched to QQ timer, and then I very recently, like in the past month, switched to CS timer. But on my phone, I have an Android, it's an LG G2. I use Plus Timer, which I don't know, I haven't tried 5 Timer, so I can't really say. Yeah, I think Plus Timer is by far the best free timer for mobile. It's so good.
Yeah, it's actually
Like,
not
it has
that bad.
pretty much everything you could need.
The only problem with that timer is it takes a while to scramble, which is really weird. Like, there's actually waiting time when you're scrambling, I don't know, big cubes. So, say you choose 4x4, you have to wait like 20 seconds for it to scramble. It's like, what?
Yeah, and it doesn't cope well with big averages, because I was on vacation in St. Thomas in August, and so that was the only timer I was using, because it's hard to, like, use a stack mat timer and stuff when you're on vacation. So I was using that, like, everywhere, on the plane and everything, and I had, like, an average of, like, 1,800 on Pyraminx or something like that, and it just got so slow. Like, it was super laggy. Yeah, and also, I forgot to mention, though, like, for my main timer, I actually do use stack mat timer for every solve. So I just type it in because I have a Gen 2, so I can't plug it in. I'm gonna get the Gen 4 when that comes out, so that'll be nice. I want that Gen 4 so badly, it looks so cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Gen 4.
You haven't? It's really cool.
Yeah.
It was on speed solving a while back.
We'll have to talk about that in our next podcast.
Apparently it's made more for cubing than other ones. Like, I believe on the stack mat, it says something like official World Cube Association timer or something like that, or mat, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It has the WCA logo on it, which is pretty cool, because, like, they're actually acknowledging the existence of cubing for once, so.
Yeah, this is another thing, right? I'm also a big fan of memory sports, so, you may have heard of this from kind of some blind solvers. Essentially what memory sports is it's like cubing in a way where there's tons of events you can do. Probably the most popular is called cards, and, well, it's pretty simple. You take a pack of cards, you memorize it, and you have to recount it, in the fastest time possible. Currently the world record is around about 20 seconds, I believe, which is pretty crazy, but, people use stack mats for those competitions as well, which I find interesting.
Yeah, it seems to be a good timer for a lot of things, because it's hard to start and stop a stopwatch for things like that. Like, if you're timing yourself, it's hard to do that. Or, like, if you have a wristwatch, to be like, oh, wait, let me fiddle around with my wrist and stop. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Why did you start cubing? When did you start and how did you start?
So I started in April of 2012, so almost 4 years. And I started because I thought my cousins could solve a Rubik's Cube. 2 of my cousins. I have multiple, more than that. But I thought my cousins could solve one, so I was like, you know what? I can do it. And I had actually been sort of interested in the cube for a while before that. I had it for like 4 years before I started. But then I got into it like a couple weeks before the day I actually decided I wanted to memorize all the algorithms, because I knew how to apply them and stuff, I just didn't know them by heart.
Yep.
So I sat down for like an hour and memorized them. I went outside to show my parents, because they were sitting on our deck outside, and I went outside to show them because I was like, wow, I can do this now. And so I sat there for like a solid maybe 6-7 minutes, because, you know, I'm slow. And I solved it. And I freaked out. I remember standing on our deck and screaming, I solved the Rubik's Cube, and I was so happy. And, like, since then, I was so hooked. Like, I got so into it right from the start. Pretty much, like, straight from the beginning, maybe, like, 2 weeks or less after I started, I got into timing myself. So, like, I've but I didn't get a speed cube for like another half a year, which was a bad decision, but
Yeah.
yeah, like my first competition, well, I only had my stickerless Guhong at my first competition, so, and that wasn't comp legal, so I used my Rubik's brand.
Oh, okay.
Those were the days. But, oh, also, to go back to the thing about how I thought my cousins could solve it, they actually couldn't, so there was, yeah, it was, that was a very interesting realization. But now one of my cousins, one of the ones who I thought could solve it, can, and she's competed once before, and she got her overall PB, which was like a 50-something.
Have you inspired many people to do cubing, like, at school?
In my old school, one of my really close friends saw that I could solve it, and so I taught him how to solve it, like, on multiple bus rides, because we were on the same bus and we're neighbors still. He got kind of into it. His PB, I think, is like a 31 or something. He hasn't competed or anything, but he was into it for a while. There were a lot of other people in my school when I got into it who also got into it, but a lot of them already could solve it. It's just that I sort of brought it back up, you know, because I got really, really into it. So then other people got back into it, I guess. Then there's Noob Cube. He was my neighbor up until recently, and then he moved like about a year ago or so. He was also on my bus, and me and my friend who I had taught, we taught him how to solve it, and he's still into it. I actually just talked to him today, so that was pretty cool. Who else? Oh, yeah. So at the school I go to now, I have taught one person, actually, like, actually taught them the algorithms and everything, but a lot of other people have learned because they saw me solve it. So one of my really close friends at school is a cuber because he knew, I could solve it, and so are some other people from school. So, yeah, I've inspired a bunch of people, I guess. I've taught, like, 3, I think. And my mom can solve the Pyraminx. I taught her. And she can solve 2x2 and clock.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad is currently in the process of learning clock.
Yeah, I tried to teach my dad how to do 2x2 once, and didn't.
Yeah, well, my dad has more trouble learning than my mom, it seems like. Because I think just, like, he has trouble, like, grasping how cubes work and stuff. Because I think one of the problems he has with it is, like, understanding that, like, they're not individual stickers, they're, like, entire pieces.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of hard to visualize that when you're new, so, I tried teaching him Pyraminx and 2x2, and those didn't really work out, so now I'm teaching him clock, which he's really understanding, so I feel like soon he'll be able to solve that, like, a couple more days, and he'll be good.
And to finish it off,
Okay.
even though this will probably only go on for, like, half an hour, I wanted, because this is a pretty loaded topic, wanted to talk about how you balance schoolwork and YouTube and cubing and whatever else you do.
Yeah, it's really tough. So, I go to a really demanding school. Like, it's, you have to get into this particular school. I'm not gonna say what it is because, you know, personal information. But, you know, you have to, like, get good grades and stuff and, like, score well on stuff to get into the school. There's, like, a lot of hard work involved once you actually get in. So, I have a lot of homework every night. A lot more than, last year and the year before and stuff. So, like, there are some nights where I can't really cube at all, and there are some nights where it's actually, like, sort of a lower homework load, and I can, like, cube for a couple hours. But what I've been trying to do this year, because this year has been so much more homework than any other year, I've been trying to make YouTube videos on weekends, because, like, weekends you could be doing homework, but why would you be? So, making YouTube videos on weekends, and then, scheduling them throughout the week. So, like, I have a Q&A coming out soon, which will probably be up by the time this podcast is up, and it's been scheduled for a solid week. It's, like, a lot of my videos are very scheduled in advance. It's, like, this week I did pretty well with, I think, because I made, like, 3 videos last weekend, and it worked out pretty well for me.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
a lot of, with YouTube, it's scheduling stuff, but then there's cubing. You can't schedule, cubing to just happen at, like, 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Like, it just doesn't work that way. Weekends, I spend a lot of time cubing. And also, I watch a lot of YouTube videos for, you know, entertainment and stuff, so I try to combine them. Like, I more listen than I do watch most YouTube videos, because I can cube while I listen in that regard. It's actually kind of funny. There's, like, this one, Let's Player on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever heard of Peanut Butter Gamer, but he has a gameplay channel.
yeah, I have.
Yeah, he has a gameplay channel called PBG Gameplay. It's the only Let's Play channel I watch, but it's really like a Let's Play channel that I listen to, because I don't really watch what he does in the game. I just kind of listen to him talk about what he's doing while I'm cubing. So,
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. If it wasn't for the commentary, then why wouldn't you just play it yourself?
yeah, true. But I feel like most people are. I feel like it's intended for you to watch them, like to watch what they're doing. But I don't know. I'm not really watching at all. I just cube. So like, I have an average of 1,000 going on now in 3x3. I'm at like solve 800 or something.
Dang, I've only done one in my life.
Yeah, same. This is like my second ever. I've been doing that for multiple days, like since mid this week, I guess, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. So, you know, each school day, maybe I could do like 100 some days, 50 some days, I don't know. It varies. And then, like today, I think I woke up and it was around like maybe 550 or something, and now I'm like, I've done at least 200 today alone. So like, weekends I definitely get more time to do stuff I want to do, like cubing and YouTube. So pretty much like a lot of my scheduling with like all the things I have to do relies on the fact that I have weekends. If I didn't have weekends, life would be really bad. How about you guys? How do you schedule it all?
Well, we do this podcast. Generally, what happens is we'll record 1 week and then release it the following.
Okay.
I don't really get that much homework. I mean, we just had a really big, like, 6-week holiday. Because I think you guys have your big holiday in the middle of the year.
You know, I actually looked it up because I was very curious about how that works in Australia. So I looked it up before the podcast. So wait, tell me if this is right. So you get like a December through January break, and then you have like 4 terms, and then you have like 2-week breaks between them?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, yeah. So that's extremely different from America, at least where I am in America.
How's it work in America?
So it varies where you are, but the general, at least where I am, like northeast, it's you start school September, like early September.
Yeah.
There are some breaks in between, like, you know, we have 2-day weekends, of course, and then and like some holidays and stuff. And then there's winter break, which is generally like less than 2 weeks. I'd say maybe 10 days on average. And that starts like Christmas Eve maybe and ends day after New Year's usually. Yeah. And then we have school, which is what I'm going through now. And then actually I don't have school Monday because President's Day. So that's a thing we have. And then but you know, that's just like a 3-day break, so that's not really anything. And then spring break, that happens like that varies. Usually sometime in April, March-ish. Oh yeah, that's funny because spring for you is not April, March.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just realized that. Okay, yeah. Then we have summer break, which is like where I am, end of June, so like maybe June 20-ish, or around like mid to end of June is when it starts, and then it goes to beginning of September, and then it all starts over again. So we have like a 2.5 month break, and then like, you know, some like 2 1-week breaks in there, but yeah, it varies from school to school. Some schools have like 4 marking periods. Some schools it's like in semesters where it's just 2. Some schools have 3. They call them trimesters, which is weird.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I reckon we should finish it up though.
We still haven't finished, like, talking about balancing.
Oh yeah,
YouTube.
we should probably finish talking about that.
We went
Yeah.
off
Oh
there.
yeah. Yep.
You've said that again, Reese.
Yep.
You've said, should we finish it there, like, literally every episode?
Yeah, I always say it. It's like, it's the thing that's always edited out that you guys don't realize, but it's always in there, so it's somewhere. Bryce, how do you balance school and homework?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Pretty much I just do it whenever I'm free. I just do homework. I usually try to put that as my number 1 priority and just cube once I've finished that homework. But yeah, I pretty much just go with the flow. I don't know. I just do whatever, whenever. It's not too hard. Just got to be committed to spending a lot of time doing homework, pretty much.
Alright. Brad, how do you balance ranting and school? Do you rant at school? Like, do you just come to school really angry?
I have 2 emotions, which is apathy and anger.
No, it's like you just go to school and you walk up to your teacher and you're like, your intro sucks.
So true.
So my homework load at school isn't too big. I also I'm fairly organized with that stuff. Like I use a program called OmniFocus, which if you're part of the Apple tech nerd community, you know that program very well.
Ew, Apple.
You're one of those, are you, Daniel?
Yes, I am one of those.
So I use that program to keep track of basically everything that I need to do, whether it be chores or homework or stuff to do with the podcast or stuff to do with my YouTube channel. And so I use that a lot. And I balance it out, so it's very easy to see what homework do I need to do today. Like, I can tell you today that I have some maths questions to answer once this program is done. I also need to do some English homework. I know, exciting stuff, but I kind of use that to keep track of everything.
Fair enough.
Okay. And out of curiosity, this is just sort of a question I have. So where do you stand on math versus maths?
Well, actually, it's funny you say this.
Okay.
I've been noticing recently, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I have been noticing, because the majority of podcasters that I listen to are from America, I have noticed that I have started saying aluminum over aluminium, and I have started saying math over maths quite a bit.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I say aluminum just because that's what we say here, but, like, I don't have a problem with aluminium. I was confused because, I don't know if you've seen ASAP Science's song on the periodic table. It's really good.
There's hydrogen and helium, then lithium, beryllium.
A couple of years ago, I wanted to learn the periodic table, so I memorized the song, and they say aluminium. And so then I say that in the song, but I don't say that, like, when I'm just talking about it. So.
Have you heard of Tom Lehrer's Element song?
Yes, that's very good.
There's antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen and oxygen and nitrogen and rhenium.
I've memorized that one.
Oh, that one's not in order, though. That's... I mean, I chose the ASAP Science one because it's in order.
Apparently, I only memorized Michael Rosen videos.
Oh, yeah. I watched that after you mentioned it. It was pretty funny. I hadn't heard of him before, though.
Oh, yeah? No. Missing out.
I hadn't. I'll have to binge watch that a bit.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
When I should be doing my maths homework. I'm trying to think of a way to incorporate aluminium into this, but I can't.
As for me, like, balancing school and homework, kind of interesting, because this year I have, like, a fairly kind of pushy teacher. Like, he's really old-fashioned in his teaching ways, and he's kind of, obviously he's not, like, old-fashioned, but he dishes out, like, a lot of homework and stuff, and he's kind of strict on uniform.
Do you get the cane if you don't do it properly?
No.
Does he let you breathe?
Oh, yeah, he lets us breathe in class. But no, he just, like, gives a lot of work, so I've been cubing a lot less recently, but, like, for example, last week we had to make a model. Kind of sucks up time. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of annoying, but, you know, school takes priority over cubing. Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was, like, I was talking to Jay McNeil once, and I was like, Jay, how are you coming to all of these competitions in Australia? Don't you have to, like, have homework or something? And it's like, well, unlike some people, I don't actually, like, care about school. I was like, oh, okay.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, I care more than I should, probably. But, like, well, I don't know. I think I care the right amount. Like, if there's an easy assignment, I'm not going to spend 2 or 3 hours on it. I'm going to spend the time I need to spend on it. But I'm not going to ever... Like, I'll always get it done. That's my main thing.
Jay's good at math, though. Jay's really good at math.
Is it because he's good at Rubik's Cubes?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I saw this one article. It was saying how, like, math is, what was it? They were saying how, like, it said, what does a Rubik's Cube have to do with math? Surprisingly a lot. And then they were saying how, like, when kids hold the Rubik's Cube, they are learning about perimeter, area, angles, and other algebraic and geometric topics, and, like, yeah, I've never thought about angles once while I'm cubing.
Yeah, like, I remember once, like, a non-cuber approached me. It was like, how do you solve it? I'm like, oh, extreme calculus, man.
Yep. Yeah, just take derivatives.
This is some
all
next
the
level
time
stuff.
while I'm cubing. Just like, yep, just derivatives and integrals all over the place here.
Yep. But no, actually, I've learned a fair bit of math from the Rubik's Cube, like, combinations, permutations, all of that stuff. Yeah, I'm really better at that now. Like, I can take most cubes and actually, like, write a formula which gives me the combinations for it.
That's cool. I did that once with 3x3, but that's all I've ever done. I should try that on another one. That'd
like, I correctly predicted Pyraminx, I think, which was cool.
Nice.
Pyraminx is silly because you have the tips which add, like, a whole bunch more combinations, even though they don't really do anything.
Going back to what you were saying before, like how much emphasis do you put on school? Basically, everything you do in a year that isn't grade 12 doesn't matter. That's not a very good worldview to take.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you do will not be noticed and you will not be remembered, and it will all burn in a fiery heat death of the universe in a billion years. Like,
well, more than a billion.
That
We
is-
got more than that. We got more than that, Brett.
That is arguable because I don't know how it works in America, but in Australia, pretty much, well, at my school anyway, at the end of year 8, you take these yearly exams, which will grade you for different classes for year 9. So, like, if you that they like rank the students, groups of 30 or so, into different classes, and then I guess if you get into the top class, you'll be doing a different textbook to the other classes. So I guess if you get into the top classes earlier on, then it will like allow you to learn more and set you up better for years.
Yeah, besides, it's like everything that you do in previous years is going to set you up for later years. Like, there's no point going into year 12 and not knowing how to multiply two numbers together.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to think how that would relate to, like, how we do it here. I mean, I feel like in America it's very different depending on what school you go to. Like, I know some schools where they only let you go, like, maximum maybe a year ahead in math, and then there are some other schools where there are people in 5th grade taking calculus. Yeah. So, I mean, it kind of depends on the school system that you're in. It's very dependent on where you are, so I shouldn't really speak for the entire country.
Yeah. In Australia, we just have, like, one huge curriculum, and everybody just has to, like, conform to that. So, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they're trying to do with Common Core, but I don't know. That's kind of hard. I'm not going to state my opinions on Common Core, because that's a very big debate in America. I try to remain neutral on stuff, at least, like, on YouTube, so people don't hate me.
I guess we're done. So where can people find you on the interwebs, Daniel?
So people can find me at youtube.com/DGCubes. You can also find me at dgcubes.zz.mu. That's my website.
But you don't use ZZ.
I might switch to it sometime, though. It's actually a really cool method, so I don't know. Maybe. ZZ's cool. Where else can they find me? I don't use Google+, because no. Yeah, really, I'm just, like, on YouTube. If you need to contact me, comment on one of my videos or email me, and I see 99% of my comments in emails, so that's the best way to get in touch with me. And you cannot find me on Twitter, despite the fact that there is a DGCubes Twitter account. That is not me.
Okay.
That's interesting.
It got put up a couple months ago, and I was like, wait a minute, who is this?
You also have your own podcast, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do have my own podcast. Well, it's a group podcast. It's called the Dilsoni Podcast. You can find that at youtube.com/Dilsoni, DLSONE, podcast official, or dilsonipodcast.esy.es.
You can also find Bryce at his deserted wasteland of a YouTube channel. You can find Brad at Brad Speed on YouTube. And you've got a website.
Yeah, I totally do. It's amazing. Bradspeed.com. Plug.
How did you get a .com? How much did you pay for that?
They're like $15. See if DGCubes.com is available.
I think it probably is. I'd imagine, because, like, who would take that?
Yep, it's $13.
I put in .co. Oops, $13, really? Mm-hmm. Or maybe I should go with dgcubes.com.au.
Yeah.
Which is surprisingly more expensive than dgcubes.com. Thanks for having me. This is an awesome podcast.
Thanks for coming. It's been fun time.
Yeah, fun time. How do we end this? Oh, it already ended in editing? Oh, so should I stop recording then?